Let's get right into it. Number 1. Shadows aren't just shadows. So, you're walking home at night. Streets empty. Crickets are cricketing. Then bam, movement in the corner of your eye. Your heart slams the panic button. Congratulations. That tree branch? Your brain just turned it into a serial killer for half a second. Why? Because deep down, your brain still thinks it's 12,000 BC, and that anything moving in the dark is probably a saber-toothed tiger with your name on its fangs. This is called hypervigilance, and it's basically your brain snorting its own emergency alert system. Thanks to evolution, we're wired to overreact to potential threats instead of underreact. Better to freak out at a stick than casually greet a snake with, "Hello, sir." Even today, your amygdalath tiny panic center of your brain goes, "It's danger o'clock," every time your peripheral vision glitches out. It doesn't matter if you're in a well-lit suburb or a Taco Bell parking lot. Your brain doesn't trust shadows, or quiet, or peace. It trusts rustling. It trusts panic. It trusts the ancient rule: if you hear it but don't see it, run like something's already chewing your leg. And yes, that's why horror movies are terrifying even when they're bad. Your ancestors didn't evolve watching plot holes. They evolved running from things that lived in them. Number 2. You're literally built to panic. Your body has a dedicated "oh no" button. It's called the fight or flight response, and it's about as subtle as a toddler on espresso. In the old days, this response helped humans escape predators. Lion appears? Boom, adrenaline, tunnel vision, digestion stops, because who needs lunch when you might be lunch? And blood reroutes to your limbs so you can run or throw rocks like your life depends on it. Fast forward to now. You're late to a meeting, and your inbox has 47 unread emails. Your brain, "It's a lion, throw a rock." Except there's no lion. Just Carol from accounting asking about that spreadsheet. But your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a tiger and social discomfort, so it flings open the stress floodgates. Palms sweaty, heart racing, stomach doing parkour. It's your body going full survival mode, because a calendar notification said performance review. So yeah, evolution gave you a Ferrari engine of fear, with the emotional stability of a raccoon in traffic. Number 3. Alone equals dead, according to your brain. Want to know why rejection stings like a wasp with a grudge? Because once upon a time, being excluded from the group meant you were one step away from being eaten by wolves. Humans are social animals, and our brains evolved with a lovely feature. Social pain activates the same brain regions as physical pain. That's right, being ghosted hits the same circuits as breaking a toe. It's not drama, it's neurology. Back in tribal days, staying in the group equals safety. Get kicked out? That's basically nature's version of unfriend and block, but with hypothermia. So now, when someone leaves your texts on read or forgets to invite you to brunch, your brain has a total emotional meltdown. Not because brunch matters, but because a part of your caveman wiring just went, "Oh no, we're gonna die cold and alone in a bush." That's why social anxiety exists. Your brain is trying to avoid doing anything that might lead to group rejection, which includes public speaking, being awkward, or God forbid waving back at someone who wasn't waving at you. So yeah, if you've ever wanted to crawl into a hole after misreading a social cue, congratulations. Your survival instincts are working perfectly, in the worst possible way. Number 4. Your brain loves fake patterns. You ever stare at a ceiling tile and suddenly it has a face? Or think of someone, and then they text you, and your brain screams, "I'm psychic." That's not magic. That's patternicity, your brain's desperate attempt to connect dots that don't exist. See, back in the run from everything era, humans survived by noticing patterns. Rustling bush equals predator. Berries plus nausea equals bad idea. Lightning plus rain equals maybe don't stand there. But this system doesn't have an off switch. So now your brain sees patterns everywhere, even if they're total nonsense. That's how we get superstitions. Conspiracy theories. The belief that Mercury in retrograde is why your Wi-Fi died. Your brain is a detective who refuses to retire, even when the case is clearly just a coincidence. Basically, your frontal lobe is out here creating full crime scenes based on vibes. And yes, that includes thinking your phone listens to you. Spoiler. It might, but your brain wants it to be true because then it makes sense of the chaos. Number 5. Your brain has a favorite horror movie and it's your life. Okay, picture this. You're lying in bed, cozy, warm, scrolling memes at 1 a.m., when suddenly creak. Did the house just settle? Or is there a man with a crowbar in your closet, wearing your grandma's face? That leap from mild sound to full crime documentary is your brain's greatest party trick. It's called catastrophizing, and it's exactly as dramatic as it sounds. See, your brain doesn't want to miss a single threat, so it defaults to worst-case scenario mode like a Netflix algorithm stuck on apocalypse. Hear a cough? It's tuberculosis. Phone buzz is weird? It's a debt collector from 2008. See a mole? It's cancer. Always cancer. Basically, your brain is a medieval bard that only tells tragic ballads, just vibes and paranoia. And it loves to keep you up at night because guess what? Sleep is vulnerability, and your primal brain says, maybe don't close your eyes when wolves exist. So you lie awake, rehearsing arguments with imaginary people, Googling symptoms until WebMD declares you legally dead, and wondering if that embarrassing thing you said at age 13 will get you banned from society. Fun fact, you're not neurotic. You're just accidentally running 20,000 years of survival software on your 2025 meat computer. Sweet dreams. Number 6. Crowds make you weird. Ever been in a crowd and suddenly thought, I could punch someone and vanish? No? Just me? Cool. But seriously, crowds do things to your brain. And not good things. Welcome to de-individuation, where your personal identity gets temporarily shut down and replaced with, I am part of the hive now. In large groups, people become bolder, dumber, and approximately 300% more likely to do something illegal. That's how peaceful parades turn into people climbing statues and setting traffic cones on fire like they're sacrificial offerings. Your brain, in a crowd, basically goes, well, nobody can see me specifically, so let's throw critical thinking into a dumpster and go full goblin mode. This is the same reason mobs happen: sports riots, dance circles that escalate into emotional breakdowns. Groupthink is real, and it doesn't care about logic. Because back in the day, survival meant following the tribe. If everyone started running, you ran. If they all pointed at the sky and screamed, "Bird demon," you screamed too. Today, the bird demon is a TikTok trend, or a man yelling, "Free ice cream" from a van, and you'll still follow. Why? Because your brain loves belonging, even if it means joining a flash mob for a song you secretly hate. So yeah, your brain will trade identity for safety faster than a squirrel on Red Bull. Number 7. Silence isn't peaceful. It's suspicious. Let's talk about silence. Not the Instagrammable spa day kind. The creepy, something is definitely about to happen kind. Your brain hates silence. It's not relaxing. It's ominous. Think about every horror movie ever. Right before the jump scare, what happens? Silence. No birds. No wind. Just dread marinating in your spinal cord. That's not a coincidence. It's evolutionary conditioning. In nature, quiet usually means something stopped moving. To hunt. So when things get eerily silent, your brain doesn't go, ah, peace. It goes, oh no, something's stalking us, probably invisible, probably has teeth. Even today, you might be in an elevator alone and suddenly your brain invents a serial killer with impeccable timing and a tragic backstory. Or you wake up at 3 a.m., house is silent, and suddenly every sound drip, creak, the distant bark of a dog that maybe isn't a dog feels like a prelude to your murder. Congrats, you've entered predator mode, where silence equals imminent doom, and you're somehow both the prey and the overthinking detective trying to solve your own disappearance. So yeah, next time your playlist stops, and your brain panics like someone just unplugged its sense of safety, just remember, your ancestors didn't have Bluetooth. They had instincts and panic. And now so do you. Number 8. Your brain remembers fear better than joy. So, let's say you had a day. You got free coffee, your crush smiled at you, a dog waved at you. Yes, it happens. But then someone cut you off in traffic and flipped you the bird. Which moment does your brain obsess over at 2 a.m.? Spoiler, it's not the dog. That's because your brain has a negativity bias, which is science speak for bad stuff hits harder. And it's not because you're dramatic, even if you are. It's survival again. Yay. Your ancestors weren't writing gratitude journals. They were remembering exactly where the saber-toothed tiger bit Uncle Grog so they could not go there again. Fear, danger, Shame those emotions are VIP guests in your memory palace. Your brain rolls out a red carpet, gives them free drinks, and tells them to never leave. Meanwhile, happy memories, they get the folding chairs in the back. Your brain's like, oh cool, a birthday? Anyway, remember that time you tripped in front of 40 people in 2009? Yeah, let's replay that with surround sound. And this is why it's so hard to just be positive. You're not failing. You're just stuck with a prehistoric alarm system that hoards trauma like it's Bitcoin. It's also why compliments bounce off you like Nerf darts, but one passive-aggressive comment from a coworker will live rent-free in your skull until you're 90. So if you ever wondered why your brain acts like a war documentary with occasional puppy sits because it's still fighting a war, one that ended 10,000 years ago, but your neurons never got the memo. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.